This is a follow-up video to a video I made a while ago that was titled The Worst Gun Ever. Actually, I think it was the worst handgun ever. I will put a link to that video in the show notes for you to find it. And this video is being done in fairness to the company involved and to the gun that was in question. That gun is this gun. This is the Kel-Tec PF9. It became rather infamous due to an incident with Mr. George Zimmerman, and whatever you think about that case, one fact remains: it went bang and then it malfunctioned. That is a known fact. So that's as much of that as we will get into. Now, this gun, when I got it, the very first time I took it to the range, third or fourth shot, it threw the extractor clean out of the gun. The extractor is located here under this spring here, and it's got a little claw on the end, and it threw it clean out of the gun. Now, I didn't notice this for a couple of shots. I just noted a failure to extract, and it took me a while to figure out it was gone, and then I never did find where it went. So at that point, I just went onto the website and I ordered a couple more extractors and another spring, extractor spring, and another extractor spring screw. So these came in, and the next one I took I put the extractor in the gun and took it to the range and found that the extractor was backing its way out of the gun. I hadn't lost it yet, but it was backed out of its position and it was jammed. At this point, I decided there was a problem with the gun. It went back to the factory twice. It came back with the same problem. It went back, it came back, and then I decided I would have to deal with it. So what I did was I had two extractor springs now, so I doubled them up. I put two on top of each other and put it in the gun. Took it to the range, and what happened was it broke the extractor. So let's see if I can zoom in on this a little bit more. There is supposed to be a little claw off this end of the extractor, and it broke that little claw off. So that told me I had too much spring tension, so I decided I was going to have to monkey with it some. My first step was to take a washer and file it down to the appropriate dimensions. You can see it's a little oblong here. In order to fit inside this little recess right up here between two of them. And I took it to the range, and it immediately I shot the firing pin back at me, telling me that, well, that wasn't going to work. As it turns out, in this particular design, the extractor spring screw also holds the firing pin in. So that wasn't going to work. So I ordered two more springs and decided I was going to have to do some filing and fitting because I wanted this gun to work. In all honesty, I received another set of springs. I ordered two springs and a screw. And I discovered that the new springs that I received were considerably different from the original springs that I had. This one here, the top one, is the original spring that was in the gun that I received. This spring here is one of the two replacement springs I received on the second time I ordered replacement springs. They are considerably longer, they are thicker, and much stronger. Much stiffer springs. I put that spring in the gun, which is what I have in it right now. This spring here. I ran 2 magazines completely through it. Two-handed strong hand, two-handed weak hand, single-handed strong hand, single-handed weak hand. No malfunctions. Fired really well every time, and in fact, it's quite an accurate gun, believe it or not. For the size of it, I was surprised at how accurate it fires. And if there is anything that is going to cause a problem or show a problem that would be related to limp wristing a gun, my weak hand, single hand, will definitely expose that problem. I'm going to continue testing this gun, but at this time, it seems like they just got a problem with the wrong spring. Now, what does that mean? That means that this gun came from the factory with the wrong spring in it. They sent me the wrong spring when I ordered a replacement. It went back to the factory twice, and they didn't notice it had the wrong spring in it. That is not necessarily a design problem, that is an execution problem. I still say it is a crappy design compared to the P11, which is an earlier design from it. Let's see if you can see here. It has a pinned extractor, different extractor system. And there is a screw up here on top that goes through here that holds firing pin in. This is a better design. It's much stronger. I have a P32, which is also an earlier generation. It has a pinned extractor. I've never had a problem with it. This design might be sufficient for a 380, for which no doubt this spring here is for the P3AT, which is the forerunner of the PF9. However, it is insufficient for a 9mm, at least in my opinion. So, opinion resolved, and Kel-Tec isn't all that bad after all.